Ninjakiwi just keeps beating down the Super Monkey, and they've really made it their personal mission in like these past few updates to just keep nerfing this tower as much as possible. So the crosspad in question is the middle crosspad. Actually, we're talking about the Robo Monkey and the Tech Terror. Even though I still think it's kind of a decent tower, it's definitely not as strong as it was before. Let me just place the Dark Monkey at the back. I think it's gonna snipe the blue balloon. Yes, there we go. So let's start off with some changes from a while back. So the first off, the Tech Terror used to be $18,000. Not sure if you guys remember this thing, but they just nerfed it to 25 for some reason. Then they took away some attack speed from it, especially if you're going for the top crosspad. After that, they reduced the Pierce from 9 to 8, and then in the latest update, it goes from 8 to 7. And are we gonna have money for Oben? This is gonna get ridiculously close. Oh my god, no way. We're gonna be like $10 off, and it's gonna close. Alright, so let's wait for the next cycle. I think we're gonna have to probably go for the oversized nails and just wait for the next 3 rounds so that the panel opens again. Now, you might be like, well, those are the changes happening to the Tech Terror. What about the Robo Monkey, the tier 3? Well, the Robo Monkey first saw its Pierce getting reduced from 7 to 6, then it got a price increase, and then again it saw its Pierce reduced again from 6 to 5. Now, not only this, but there are some side towers, like for example Geraldo, which used to be an amazing combo. You used to be able to give the Geraldo Sharpening Stone, and the Sharpening Stone actually would give +1 damage and +1 Pierce to the Robo Monkey. Now that is no longer the case, because the Sharpening Stone now doesn't give any extra damage. It's like this side nerf again affecting this tower. So yeah, in the past few updates, Ninjakiwi has just been demolishing this Tech Terror, and I wanted to try it. And I wanted to try it on a map that's a little bit annoying, because I think it's still a decent tower for sure, and that's why I chose this map, Covered Gardens. So the panel finally opened up. Let's place Oben. I wanted to grab Oben for 2 specific reasons. Number 1 is we're gonna get the levels of Pierce back, actually, that we lost because he buffs magic monkeys. And number 2, I want to use this totem actually a little bit from Oben, which slows down his Bloons, and I'm gonna go for the bottom crosspad on the Super Monkey. So we are gonna be kind of trying to group the Bloons up right in one single spot and just get a huge ability off of it. Alright, so round 15, let's see how we do this one. We cannot upgrade. Owen is, by the way, still level 2. That's a little bit annoying. And I don't have the pin upgrade on the NG, and is this gonna cost us around? The backline is barely surviving. The Dark Monkey is fighting for its life, and there's a green balloon. I think it's gonna be able to snipe the green balloon. Nope. Alright, so we need to do one of 2 things. Either buy Owen's level 3 ability and use the Brambles on this one, or buy the pin upgrade on the NG. So what do we want to do now? I mean, maybe just like buy another Dark Monkey. This is probably the cheapest option. Just this is like $200. The only thing that we need to pop is there's gonna be like this single green balloon. Yeah, this one. And as long as we pop this green balloon, we're fine, because the Dark can only handle blue balloons. There it is. That's all it took, by the way. So let's not make the same mistake. First off, let's buy the pin upgrade, and second, let's go for a village, because of course we're gonna be buying discount villages. I mean, do you guys even know how much money we're gonna be spending on these upgrades? These are like thousands and thousands of dollars up to tier 3. There's just like these 2 single discount upgrades that are gonna give us so much extra cash. It's gonna be crazy. So let's make sure we actually dump at least one of the villages during this round. I'm spamming the button. I'm gonna dump it there. I don't like that placement, by the way. Oh my god, these closing panels, man. These guys are gonna be the end of me, I think. Alright, so let's have the second village like this. The Super Monkey is gonna go a little bit on the right side, so let's place it as fast as possible. Get the second discount upgrade. What I'm doing, by the way, is absolutely criminal. Like, this is way too much. Oh no, the panel closed. Come on. Okay, but just to be fair, this like 003 NG is the king of the early game. Let's see. Oh yeah, we just got level 7. This is very important, by the way, for round 33, because one single Bramble can absorb all of these Count Balloons. So let's go like this, buy the Monkey Commerce. Alright, so as long as we survive this round, then the next one you're guaranteed to buy the Super Monkey. The problem is I see huge leaks on this one. I hate this map. Well, I picked it, but I'm still allowed to hate it. Let's go like this. Let's get the bigger stacks. I mean, we're gonna need 2.7k, so hopefully we make the money for the next round. So let's see what exactly we're leaking. So the camos for sure, because the Brambles are cool. They just came off cooldown, so we can use the Brambles for this third wave of pink balloons. I'm actually gonna do it. Let's try and tank as many of these guys as possible. We're still gonna leak a little bit, I think. Oh, never mind. There we go. All right, so we can finally place the Super Monkey. So let's have it like this. And take a look at the discounts, guys. I mean, knockback goes from 3.2 to 2.6. Ridiculous. The Robo is gonna go from, how much is Robo? Is 8.1, by the way. Oh my god, this guy's gonna be like 6k or something like that. And actually, you know what? This is round 37, and because, wait a minute, where is round 40 gonna be? So 7, 8, 9, 40 is gonna be on this bottom right panel. I'm gonna have to buy this upgrade as well, right? Okay, so 39 is coming to an end. Well, the bottom right panel is gonna open. We can't exactly do anything with that thing, so I just saved the brambles. I'm gonna use the brambles and just hope for the best at this point. Ideally, you get the knockback on the super monkey, and that's how you just kind of stop this guy, but maybe the melee crossbat is gonna be full. We do leak some balloons, but the spike factory is gonna eat them up at the back. There we go. Let's also get the jungle jumps while the panel is open like this, so we get some attack speed, and the robo is 6.5, going from 8.1. That's a huge discount. This is exactly why I wanted to buy both the discount villages. Yeah, this guy's kind of nuts, right? When you get the alchemist and everything, it's only a 0-2, but it's around 49. He should be able to defeat all these guys by himself. We're gonna buy the robo monkey, by the way, so let's just see how we do on 49, then we're gonna buy it. I don't think these ceramics are going in, especially with this totem. Look at this beautiful totem placement by Owen. That is crazy. Everyone's just being held in one single spot. All right, it's time for the robo. I've seen enough. Let's get the robo. Let's get the second arm to close, by the way. As long as this panel is open, just get the upgrades and everything flowing, and then we're gonna have to chill for a second. Yeah, this robo is kind of cracked, honestly. He's trying 57, and he's not even budging. I mean, he's lost like 2 peers, but he doesn't seem to care. What's really important for us is that the detector price got increased to 27. This is actually a very long time ago at this point, but yeah, the detector price is $27,000, and unfortunately, I don't think that's happening before round 63. So 63 is gonna be an interesting one to kind of see what we can make happen of it. All right, unfortunately, I had to drop the wall of trees for the camel leads because the Alec buff and the AMD wasn't exactly working out. But this is gonna be the last round before 63, in which we're gonna have access to the super monkey. So what do? I think nothing, right? I mean, we're trying to save up money for the tech terror, which is gonna bring us into the 80s like easily by itself. So maybe we're looking to buy like a support tower around here. Oh, never mind. Alright, the battle closed, never mind. Alright, so let's see how it is. 63, only 1 lap buffing power, kind of close, and that's gonna be Oben with its normal attacks. The wall of trees is getting broken up. How is the robo doing? He's defending. Okay, that's good. We do have a second one if necessary, but let's actually try it like this. Let me just use the brambles for the second wave. Let's see if the robo handles it by itself. I think it does. Yeah, it does. There we go. Alright, so just deal with these lead balloons a little bit faster. Let's kind of speed it up and see what we do with the third wave. As long as there are no lead balloons blocking these projectiles, I think we're fine. Yeah, look at this thing. He's actually, I mean, they're gonna come up to the middle, I guess, but yeah, he's absolutely defending this. All right, what a crack tower this guy is, huh? All right, then 65, we finally open up the panel, so let's get the tech terror, and now this guy is gonna easily bring us into the 80s. All right, so let's try and notice the lack of Pierce in this case. So we're gonna have some huge rounds like 75, 76, and then 77 is gonna have 5 BFBs next to each other. So those are probably gonna be the rounds in which we're gonna notice this lack of Pierce. So let's just see how we do on 75 first. Huge waves of BFBs. I guess they're gonna be like groups of 3 BFBs. The idea with the reduction of the Pierce is that it's not gonna be able to hold off like these small balloons in place. Now we do have Oben and the totem helping out for sure. And if you're not running Oben, it's probably gonna be, you know, Geraldo, and you're gonna give it the sharpening stone, which is again +2 Pierce, so it kind of works out, I guess. But so far we are holding these huge waves of small balloons that are coming out. They're definitely kind of making it a little bit, you know, I guess towards this middle portion of this vertical track, but we're still holding them. See how we do versus this second group of BFBs, but since we defeated the first one, I mean, I don't think this one is even gonna be close. Yeah, there we go. All right, now 76. We do have the ability, but again, I don't want to touch the ability. I just want to see how the normal auto attacks do. Oh, and look at this thing. Are they actually gonna make it on the other side? He's holding them. He actually held them all the way. That's amazing. All right, now 77. A lot of BFBs next to each other. So if we kind of pop them at the same time, we're gonna have a lot of small balloons, and we might get overwhelmed. So let's just watch this one, and if this one is fine, then we're just gonna go into the 80s. I think it's gonna be fine because we already popped like 3 of these BFBs and nothing happened. Yeah, there we go. All right, we just clear out 77, no problem. There we go. I'm telling you guys, this tower is still really strong. Yeah, these nerfs, I mean, they did something, I guess, but they weren't enough, I don't think. So let me just go like this, get the MIB. We're gonna have some purples on 78, but I also want to have it because we're gonna go for the call to arms anyways there down the line. By the way, 78, just let's watch this wave of ceramics. Is it holding it by itself? Of course it is, no problem. All right, now because we went for the bottom crossbat, which essentially means knockback and camo detection, we are missing out on damage if we went from the top one. So we should be theoretically struggling versus balloons like this one, which are just beefy single target balloons. So let's see how we do. This guy's gonna summon a decent amount of balloons, and actually, are we gonna see the Pierce now go to town? Oh my god. Oh, we're actually leaking. Look at this thing. We actually leak around 80. All right, so that's an interesting development. I thought he was gonna be able to pop it no problem, honestly, because we had Oben the extra Pierce and everything, and I guess not. So let's just use the ability, I guess, for round 80. All right, so it seemed like we have finally found our match. I mean, if we had +2 Pierce right there, if the Pierce had been taken away from this guy, does he defeat round 80 by himself? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, 81 seems to be he seems to be struggling on 81 as well. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, this is getting getting really close, man. The second that we enter free play mode, is this where we're seeing the -1 pierce? I think it is, guys. I see some full ceramics making it the other side. Guys, the nerfs are finally starting to add up on this tower. He's not the same one as before. Let me buy the call to arms. Let's get some extra damage onto him with the ability, but actually the next tower that I want to be going for is going to be the Absolute Zero Ice. In the latest update, let me just use the ability. In the latest update, what happened to the Absolute Zero Ice is that the aura now slows mob class balloons by 30%. It used to be 20. Alright, and now we have an opportunity that the panel is open, so let's go like this. Do we have the money for the entire thing? Yes, we do. Okay, that's amazing. We can actually even buy the primary training, a little bit of extra range. That's great. We should go for the mentoring, by the way. The mentoring also got buffed in the latest update. The cooldown reduction that it provides to primary towers is 15%. It used to be 10, so we should get that. Now with all these slows, I know that we don't have the damage, I know that we don't have the pierce, but is just the stacking of the slows gonna be enough for us to deal with the ZOMGs? Let's see. This is sort of identical to round 80, but it's like 2 ZOMGs and they're a little bit stronger, and let's see how much of a difference the Absolute Zero is gonna make. Do we freeze them? Let's actually not. Let's just chill. I think we have them. I think we just need to stack some slows, guys, in one spot, and this guy should be able to defend everything. There we go. That was 85. The nerfs are stacking up, guys. Yes, I can absolutely see them happening. Okay, let's go for a relentless glue right here on the side. Keep this guy on first. We have $1,000, by the way. It's around 89. This run is a lot closer than I thought it was gonna be. I thought that once we buy the Tech Terror, this guy he's gonna be still strong, but a little bit weaker than usual for sure, but like still just breezing through these rounds, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So that was 89, and we're gonna have our first DDTs on this one, so I'm ready with the Absolute Zero. Let's actually, oh, we cannot access this village. We need the panel to open up, so let's see how we do for DDTs. Our first DDTs, we seem to be taking a little while, but he's popping him. He's dealing them for sure. Alright, and 99 is going to be a true pierce test because there's like a million BFBs on this one, and underneath them, you guys can't see them, but there are like a million ceramics as well coming out. So this is going to be the pierce test, and also we're stacking a lot of slows with the relentless glue, with the open totems, with the Absolute Zero, and plus the knockback. So I feel like just because we're keeping everyone in place, I mean, the damage is definitely not great on the Tech Terror, but we should be able to keep everyone in place, right? Oh my god, this is doing great actually around 91. I mean, these guys are trying to break through. We can use the Absolute Zero. Let's chill. Maybe we're not gonna have to. Both arms attacking on the right side now. Can we actually hold all these guys? I think we can. Yes, there we go. The slow stacking actually does work, it seems like. Alright, so the bottom panel finally opens up. Let's get the primary mentor, get some cooldown reduction on the ice, and then we have about $9,000. We need to save a little bit of cash so that we can kind of plan ahead. Let's see how we do versus these DDTs, and if everything goes well. Yeah, I think we're popping them, no issues. Yeah, I actually think that even though we're struggling with these normal rounds, I think like the DDT rounds are not gonna be an issue. Alright, I accidentally clicked the call to arms ability. Hopefully I didn't mess things up because it's 94. This is a beefy round, so let's start things off with the Absolute Zero. I think we can kind of spam this ability now that we got the primary mentoring. Let's just keep using it again and again, and I think as long as we just keep the balloons in place, I know we don't have the damage, but we have the time, guys. We have all the time in the world for this guy to pop everything. So let's go like this. Let me even use the call to arms because it seems to be kind of a mess here. Alright, the ZMGs are finally starting to pop, and we got another call to arms cooldown. Just to give you guys an idea of how long it takes for this guy to pop ZMGs, the call to arms did the whole thing. It came back off cooldown, and we use it again, and let's, in combination with the Absolute Zero, let's get rid of this round. I think that's gonna be fine for 94, but is it gonna be fine for 94? I think we have it with the normal all attacks. Yeah, there we go. This is actually getting really close, guys. Alright, so now we're gonna be facing 95. I think 95 is not gonna be a problem, but I do have an idea of another tower that I want to buy for these upcoming rounds. So that's gonna be the Unstable Concoction Alchemist. I know that's a tower that you haven't seen in a while, but it's gonna give us a little bit of extra damage, and I feel like we can deal with the explosions, right? Because we have the Tech Terror ability. So let's just kind of actually, how is this one doing? Oh, I think we need to use the Tech Terror. It's gonna be super close. Do we want to be patient with this one and try and save the Tech Terror for the next one? Let's try it like this. Absolute Zero. The guys are frozen up top. He's barely popping them. We got rid of the DDTs, but no, the ceramics are gonna leak on the other side. Alright, so let's start things off with using the Absolute Zero a little bit earlier, actually, so we get it off cooldown a little bit earlier, so we can get 2 abilities. So I think that this, now that we did it a little bit differently the last last time. Yeah, just use the ability now, and I think this is gonna be a lot better than last time, right? It's looking a lot better, but is it actually 2 DDTs? No, I think we have to use we just have to use the Tech Terror ability. Alright, so let's start this one off by using Call to Arms and the Absolute Zero. I'm just spamming the Absolute Zero. We have 23,000, so a portion of that cash is gonna be used on an Unstable Concoction Alchemist here in the middle. Let's actually wipe the entirety of this round, all the small balloons, and then just keep using the Absolute Zero onto the ZMGs. And honestly, 96, once you wipe the small balloons, I mean, I don't think it's an issue. Let me actually just, while we're here, while the panel is open, I don't think we're gonna have it open before 100, so let's get at least one Spike Storm, just one. Now that we're finally gonna get this panel open, this is gonna be, by the way, the last time until the end of this game, so let's make sure we buy up this guy, the Unstable Concoction. What are we going for? I guess the top crossbat, a little bit of extra Pierce, set it on Strong, I think. Alright, look at these guys, they can barely move, but we're barely doing any damage to them. Oh, they're starting to explode. Yes, the Unstable Concoction finally going to work. We're gonna need some huge damage coming out of this guy. 21,000. We just placed him, by the way. 98 is gonna be a it's gonna be a blast, I think. Alright, so the 3 most important rounds of this run, and hopefully we make it happen. We need to plan around these abilities very well, or this thing is just not happening. So let's start off by using the Absolute Zero and the Call to Arms to start things off. Just dish out as much damage as possible. I think we should also dump the Sabo, and I see some huge explosions, by the way, from this from the Unstable Concoction. Hopefully they're doing well. Let's get one more Absolute Zero on the field, and I think we should be able to get the Sabo back for 99, I was thinking, for the 45 DDTs. How is it looking so far? I see some huge explosions happening. Hopefully they don't overwhelm us, and if they do, we can just use the Tech Terror ability. I can see the Ice ability coming up in a second. This is a huge one, by the way, guys. 98, I mean, just an absolutely massive round. We're kind of keeping everyone in place, but I think that these guys are gonna make it on the other side, so I'm pretty sure we have to use at least the Tech Terror ability. Yeah, just use it. Yeah. Oh, alright, what just happened there? Oh, alright, I'm telling you guys, this Unstable Concoction Alchemist is something else. That was insane. What? He disappeared the ZMGs? I didn't think that was gonna happen. I was like, wait, let's just deal with the ZMGs later, but nope, never mind. Let's use the Sabo, by the way. This 45 DDT wants to escape. We're probably gonna need to restart this one. Yeah, this specific round is not looking too hot. Let's actually freeze these ceramics, and maybe the Spike can build enough spikes to tank these 45 ceramics in the back. Oh my god, this is super close. I don't think we're attacking them. We're gonna lose to like 2 ceramics. Right, so let's try it like this. Let's use the Wall of Trees, and then as soon as the Wall of Trees pops, we can... I think the brambles actually do work. Oh, there we go. They popped, so we can use the Absolute Zero now. I think if we just hold these guys off a little bit longer, we get the Sabo back, so let's use it. That thing doesn't work on the bat anyways. And how are we? Do we take this actually? Every ability that we have is on cooldown, with the exception of the Call to Arms and the Spike Storm. Yeah, I think we can take it. Yeah, it's completely fine. Alright, so just wait a little bit, and then combine this, the Call to Arms, with the single Spike Storm that we bought. Use the brambles, and I wish we could see the damage of the Tech Terror, but it's probably not looking too hot, huh? Let's use the ability, which is not a crit, I don't think. Yeah, this guy is not gonna pop, so we're looking at least one more Spike Storm. There's a Spike Storm and just like a Cope Moab Shredder here at the start. Hopefully this thing works. I mean, the Spike Storm is gonna take a little bit of a while to come off cooldown, so I don't know. Hopefully we don't get it too late. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's use Call to Arms, both the Spike Storm abilities, and now hopefully this is enough damage. We can freeze, you know, the insides as soon as they pop, but we're gonna need this guy to pop as soon as possible. Yep, this is just not happening. We still need more damage. It's crazy. How much more damage do you need for this one? Alright, I mean, let's try like this. Let's try, and this is always an option, by the way. You can just try and get the Bad Balloon on its like last leg. We have $500, by the way. You can get it on the last like damage stage, and you can just try and snipe it with the first strike. So I guess that's what we have to do. So let's just keep dumping all these abilities. Let's use the Call to Arms in combination with the Spike Storm, and let's just watch the HP. Alright, so Call to Arms again, increased reduction on the spike. Oh no, this is the last one, so let's use it like this, and I think we sniped it, yes, with the Spike Storm. That was perfect. That was, by the way, first try. Oh, and this guy does suck versus big balloons, huh, doesn't he? And I guess versus small balloons a little bit as well, but with all these buffs and everything, he's still kind of a decent tower. But yeah, I definitely noticed he's a little bit weaker than he was. And actually, what a great and fun run that was, with the abilities and planning and everything, and just like a test on this new Tech Terror. That was amazing. And hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm going to see you on the next one.